Should let out a big belch. Good.
That'd be great.
Listen up, folks. My voice is not very good. What's that one?
This book right here?
Yeah, the top
This
one.
book.
No. Not that. Yeah.
Below it.
Yeah.
This book right here, the Dakota Territory, Volume 2. I'll give you Volume 1.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Okay. Volume 1. Yeah. 2.
Right
Yeah.
here.
Okay. That was written by George W. Kingsbury. There's a county named after him in South Dakota. He was a historian for when Abraham Lincoln in 1862 created Dakota Territory, and then he was a historian, and in Yankton, South Dakota. Yankton was just the capital of Dakota Territory at the time. But you got to remember, Dakota. I'll tell it to you now. Dakota Territory wasn't just North and South Dakota. It was North and South Dakota, all of Montana, all of Wyoming, a part of Nebraska, and I think Idaho, if I remember right. Okay, it was the size of Texas, all those combined together, and which I never knew till I started reading these old books. Anyway, so anyway, just to tell you a little bit about that. I guess if you want to go get something to eat, you better go get it. That's a.
Definitely.
But anyway, that 2520 right there, it's a 25 caliber with 20 grams of, excuse me, 20 grams of powder in.
Mm-hmm.
It's
When he turns his head,
anyway.
he'll
It's
lose a little bit of that.
A little bit of it.
So I want to bring the gun to him. You know what I'm saying?
Excuse me.
You want me to...
No. So we'll have Tom kind of probably hand him the gun, or I'll hand him a gun.
Okay.
Is that okay? You okay if we just bring a gun to you and then you talk all about it?
I can, much as I
Yeah.
know. Yeah.
That way your head stays towards the microphone.
Yeah,
And
okay.
it keeps it consistent.
Anyway, that one there is a 25 caliber.
Hold up just a second here.
All right. Right.
Sorry, I'm being
Yeah.
technical here.
That's all right.
No, you gotta play with your toys. So we got
Excuse
like
me.
20 minutes until dinner time. So is that okay? We get through a few guns. Go ahead, Conrad.
Okay. Tom, this is the 25 caliber, 20 grams of powder in it, in each bullet. And that one there shoots, but it's not, it came from North Dakota, I was told. And then it shoots, but you got to be careful of it.
Is it just kind of a little bit rough?
A little rough, yeah. So,
Yeah, it says 2025, so that makes sense.
yep.
Special smokeless steel.
Yeah, right. So that one there, it's an identical gun that my dad had on the farm. And then, but it doesn't want to lock up very good. I sent it to a gunsmith up by Watertown, but he didn't do squat with it.
What does this thing do?
It takes the gun apart.
Oh, that's for taking the gun
Yeah,
apart,
yeah,
and then
right,
this
yeah.
is the safety right here.
Yeah, I don't have any manuals on it at all whatsoever,
Well, how old is that gun, you think?
Well, that's probably 1920s, I'm guessing.
1904.
Oh, 4, okay. Well, good. It says it on there. Okay, I didn't.
November 29th, 1904.
Okay, all
And
right.
what is that gun used for best?
Well, you can kill deer with that gun.
Can you really?
Oh, yeah. My dad shot a few out there in the farm before I was old enough to realize what was going on, which I didn't care, but I mean. And then,
So is this a bigger gauge than a 20 gauge or 22?
yeah. This is the Armory Gun Company, made by the Armory Gun Company. That's a 12 gauge shotgun. And it can be fixed up. It'd be about $250.
It's a 12 gauge shotgun.
12 gauge shotgun. Yeah.
And this was his dad's gun.
Yeah.
It was Conrad's dad's gun. Yes. Yep.
Oh, okay. I was talking shit.
Oh, no.
Okay.
You're right.
All right. Okay. Next,
Well, hold up, Conrad. She's catching up here.
okay.
What you can do is right at the bottom and you can tear it off. So go from bottom.
Or you could just listen to this and then write it after this.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Unless you have audio. Well, okay.
No, because you'll be able to hear him.
But pictures with it.
My favorite gun.
Yeah, exactly, and that's why we'll get recording.
I've got two favorite guns there. The Marlin lever action right there. You see that lever? No, the lever action.
That one.
This one's a lever action.
No, that's a bolt action.
Bolt action. Oh.
Yeah, this is the lever. The lever is you eject the shell. And that one there is a real good shooter. But I probably will want to hang on to that one. I'm not sure about that. We'll talk about it. But anyway. Let's
Marlin
see.
Firearms, New Haven.
Said New Haven.
Micro groove barrel.
Yeah.
So did it shoot pretty straight?
Oh yeah. That's a deadly one. I've only got a 4-power scope on it, but that's all you need. And it's not a big scope, but.
Is it, so what is this?
What's that?
Is this a 22?
22. Yeah.
This is a 22 gauge.
No,
22
Marlin
caliber.
22 caliber. Lever action. Conrad's favorite.
Yep.
What was your other favorite, Conrad?
I got that in Flint, Michigan. That one there.
The Marlin.
The Marlin, or that one just put down. Yeah. My landlord, when I was living in Flint, he wanted me to come out and shoot pigeons off his barn. He was kind of a farmer, and then I can't remember what his main job was, but so I bought that in Flint. Went out there and shot his pigeons.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you bought it to shoot his pigeons?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Which one?
Okay.
The Marlin. The Marlin.
Marlin.
One that you said.
Yeah.
So what's your other favorite?
Well, the other favorite one is, let me see if I can find it, is the,
No, Vinny, no.
where the hell did it go?
The other way.
It was a
There's some over
22.
here too.
Yeah, I see it. I'm looking over that way. I guess I don't see it.
The ones we talked about were already, for these three already.
Oh, I didn't even get this message from you, George.
What book is that right there?
Brookings County History book.
That one will stay with me.
Yep.
Yep, okay.
Is your
That-
phone charged?
Huh?
I'm sorry. I was
That's all right.
yeah.
So that was, and there's one from Madison, Lake County too, there somewhere.
Talking to the speaker.
I don't know where, I don't see it now, but anyway, whoops.
We'll bring it over here.
Yeah,
Bring it
okay.
over.
This is the,
Or you could set it up on this. Can you set it on the bowl?
okay.
Oh yeah. I can start up here somehow.
Or
Or just
can you like use that?
Cracks me. That cracks me.
This Kingsbury County, probably, I can't tell. Is this Kingsbury County, Cooper?
There's gotta be something we can use here.
Yeah.
That's Kingsbury.
Just say that on there.
Yes, George
Okay.
Kingsbury. Yep.
Yeah, that one I want to keep.
Yep.
Okay,
Line one.
just so you know. Okay. Now my favorite other favorite 22 is. I gotta see it first. Okay, that's. It's over there probably somewhere. I can't see around this, but anyway.
So, Mom, if you want visiting angels for 2.7 hours, it's $49 an hour, or $43 an hour. On Saturday, it's $45 an hour, and on Sunday.
That one right there is one of my other. That's a 22, just a regular 22 pump action.
Do they come to
I bought in 1950, 50 something I guess it was.
Remington.
Yeah, Remington. Yep.
Just do a, you know,
So
So let me, that's just that, and that's just.
that one I might want to keep too, but other than them two,
Well, you're keeping all of them.
No,
Just
no, no.
talking about them.
no.
What?
Tomorrow I'll come over and make phone calls, cause I knew I.
What did you use that one for?
But
Anything
yeah,
in particular?
we're just hunting gophers and varmints and stuff, you know. Yeah, works real good.
We're good as long as we don't touch this thing. We're good.
Okay.
So maybe I'll move this chair and then maybe you can go around this way.
Yeah.
About that gun there, about 1950, I think it was. And then,
In the 50s, you said?
yeah. So I just can't remember the year, but right around that time. Yeah, that's the same one. I bought that gun in the 50s
Okay. Oh,
before I went to the Air Force.
22 Remington pump action.
Right, yeah. It's a good shooting gun. It
Is
looks
this, so you load it here,
yeah, you load it there.
and then this feeds here, and then, okay,
Yeah, you just pull that up there, did that,
okay,
open it up. It should be empty, but
yeah.
then I think it holds about a dozen bullets in there, I'm not sure. 22 long rifle.
Yeah.
So that's, but it's a good shooter. I can't believe how that thing shoots after all the years. It looks like it's been through a war zone when I was out there killing raccoons in the trees and stuff. But anyway, it shoots good. Benny, who's got you? Okay.
Okay, what about this guy?
That there is the 22 mag. I think it says on there somewhere. You gotta find it. Bolt action.
All weather. Ruger. All
Ruger.
weather.
Ruger, okay, yeah. That's a good.
22 Win Mag RE or RF.
Winchester mag.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, Winchester Mag. Okay.
Yeah, right, yeah, right.
And then the scope, you put the scope on separately?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a good shooting gun. Yeah. So anyway, the other. Oh, let's see.
So what'd you use that one for? Same thing?
Just shooting varmints and stuff, you know. Yeah. Long distance.
What's one of the longest shot kills that you've had, you think?
The longest shot kill.
Yeah. How many yards?
Well, I guess I have to say that the yardage on them is at 204. It goes 5,000 feet per second. Remember that one you shot when we were out? That made the dust fly and everything.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the one.
Which one's that one? We haven't touched that gun yet?
Let's see it.
This is 12 gauge shotgun.
That Magnum should be a 12 gauge Magnum Super Mag.
FOR full.
Let's see. Shit.
It Magnum just tells the size of the bullet. Is that what when you say that? Is that like a bigger shell? Is that?
Was that a shot? That's a shotgun, isn't it? Yeah, yeah. It's a 12 gauge shotgun, and I think it's a Remington Super Mag, isn't it?
Two and 3/4 or shorter shells. So
Yeah.
2 3/4 means super. Is that
No. That's just a regular shotgun.
okay?
It's like I have about 3-inch long shell.
Okay.
For dead coyote shells, I used to kill them with.
Remington.
So. Let's see here. Is that the one you got recorded, Scott?
So Conrad, do you have any guns like you did your Air Force marksmanship test with? What kind of gun did you do that with?
That was an M1 carbine,
M1 carbine.
18-inch barrel,
And how far was the target?
100 yards,
And how many did you get? How many bullseyes out of
289 out of a possible 300. Bullseye, yeah.
in the center?
In the center, yeah.
Pretty accurate.
Second best one that day, the guy from Kentucky beat me.
His name wasn't Kraft, was it? No, he was not in the Air Force.
Yeah, he was.
Okay, this one is another 12 gauge.
It should be a Magnum.
Okay, this is 2 3/4, 3 or 3.5. So
Yeah,
this is-
I used to have 3.5 in it. You can kill a
okay,
coyote.
yeah, Super Magnum.
Yeah, you can kill a coyote out there, 75 yards out.
So this is a coyote killer.
That's the one I used a lot for tree hunting, stuff like that.
Okay.
Yep. You hit a coyote with that, he's done.
Yep.
Bang, whop, drop. Not funny, but anyway.
How about like for geese and things like that? Could you use one of those 12 gauge for geese and
Oh, yeah.
stuff?
Yeah, I could use that for geese. The other 12 gauge here.
What about
You're good.
Huh?
what about when you went pheasant hunting? Which one did you use for pheasant?
The regular 12 gauge. Yeah.
Oh, the 12.
Yeah, the other one, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Those dead coyote loads, they cost about $1 a shot. So, not that I couldn't afford it, but I just said I had a regular 12 gauge, so I would use that. So,
Okay. Remington model 700. Looks like it has a pretty robust scope on this.
yeah.
So this is
Well,
This
it's
is-
kinda late, but maybe the weather's.
Is that the 204?
yeah,
Okay.
204 Ruger.
Yeah, okay. 20 means 20 caliber,
This weekend,
smaller than a 22.
the 60.
The 04 is introduced 2004 fish, so that's what it means.
Food will be done in
So what is
5 minutes.
so what is
We'll
this
put together
used
the
for?
salad.
Is this birds also?
That 204 there?
Yeah.
Well, I'd shoot gophers with it. I'd shoot a couple of times. I shot prairie dogs with it. Only one time actually.
Yeah.
My favorite hunting partner out there died since not too long ago.
Oh, one of your buddies?
Huh?
One of
Yeah,
your friends?
yeah. Butch Smith. But anyway, he's gone now. About 2 weeks ago he died.
Oh, wow.
So it's old. Anyway,
For Conrad Tisland.
those are recorded over there. Okay, I knew you have your shit together. Okay. And
Are you doing all right, Conrad?
yeah, I'm doing all right. Yeah,
I still want you to pick out a good one for killing geese.
for killing geese. Oh man.
Exactly.
You
a
want-
goose killer?
Oh yeah. Well, that tool or what? Check that. That shotgun.
Any of those 12 gauge
And you
shotguns
might
would work.
need a quieter one, right? Like
Wham! Well, not anymore.
Oh,
is
yeah.
it
Our
legal?
neighbors are gone.
They're
so-
gone. Yeah. Right,
Oh,
okay.
okay.
Yeah. Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
But 12 gauge is a big one, though.
Yeah. That's a big
I mean,
one.
Oh, yeah.
To take down a goose, couldn't you use an 18 or 20 gauge to take down a goose, or no?
12 gauge.
No, but could you use a
Small.
higher gauge,
Smaller.
Smaller.
a smaller shot?
Yeah, you could, I suppose. Yeah. I wouldn't.
But it's
but
tough to go through those feathers that those have.
Yeah, oh, yeah,
Those guys
yeah.
are pretty hardy.
Yeah. You bet. Yeah. I probably shot more geese out there with my 22. than my- Okay, but anyway, springtime, the geese would land in a slough, and Dad says, "Go out there and get them damn geese." He says, "So I just
So you shoot them with the 22?
oh yeah, shoot them through the head."
It's fun.
I know it sounds vulgar, but that's
So
what
this
it
is a 2506.
yeah, it's a 2506. I use that for killing coyotes if they're out there quite a ways. Beyond.
Okay, because it's
yeah,
just
yeah.
so this is bigger than the 22 then also,
Oh yeah,
right?
20.
Okay.
Yeah, 25. Yeah. You hit them with that, and they were done. So
Yeah.
for windier days, they hold the target better than the 204. But
Yeah.
anyway, you're still going to take that gun with you, Tom? That BB gun?
What's that?
You're going to take that BB gun with you?
I don't know if we're going to take anything right now. We're just trying to learn what they are.
All right, okay. You don't know.
You know, we don't want to just.
Yeah,
You
okay.
know,
You know,
so this is a.
there may be BBs in that one.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So this was a
Red Ryder.
combination of the one that you had, and then I came home from college one year, and mine was kind of merged in with yours.
Yeah,
So,
okay.
so we have one good one out of the two.
Yeah, right. So, but you can take that with you if you want. It's up to you.
That was yours,
Yeah.
Sam?
Well,
Part of it was
part
mine.
of it. Part of
kind
it.
of his was kind of broken, so I came home from college one year, and my parts were used to fix his.
Yeah, right. Yep.
Well, it is a Red Rider too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Single bolt action or whatever.
Yeah.
It's single. Yeah.
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 All right. There's some BBs in it, I think. Yeah.
Well, we're gonna stop right now. We're gonna have dinner, and then we'll finish after dinner.
Yeah. Okay. That's fine.
Good job, though.
Anyway, Penny, nobody paying any attention to you.
Very much.
Okay.
Yes, you tell us what. And I just want to get some.
Been so long, I can't remember. If it was ready, I don't know.
Yeah, my bad. It's just giving us some issues here. Let's try this.
Is that on?
Just about. For some reason.
Yeah, hospice just got a grant from lapel mics Cooper to put on.
That's nice.
Where to put them? What?
There you go.
These things are
And the
snapshot.
recording's going.
Pretty zone.
Alright.
Oh yeah, that's a. Okay.
Pointing at anyone.
Whoa.
That's a Ruger
Look at
single.
that one.
That's a Ruger single 6.
What is it?
A Ruger single 6. It's the gun is an antique today. It's over 25 years old. I got that when my dad bought that for me at a well, I guess it was a farm dealer. He was selling guns on the side, and so I said, "Dad, I'd like to have a gun like that." And he forked over like $25, $30, and I paid him back for it. And
It was only
25 or
huh?
30.
What's that?
25 or 30. So how do you open this thing up?
Well, you don't really open it up. Well, wait a minute. Hand me the gun. Been so long since I handled a gun.
Yeah.
Anyway, to open it up, let loose of it.
Trigger, Conrad.
Huh?
Get your finger off the trigger.
It's empty. It better be
I'm
empty.
nervous.
Okay. So you pull this back.
Pull that back. Okay.
Yeah. Pull that. No, wait a minute. Pencil. Shit. Do it like that, and then you reach under here and you pull this rod out. Good. You'll hear that one. Okay. And then,
Pull this rod out right
yeah,
here.
yeah. You know what? To do that, you have to. I have to show you that too. Let me see. It's been so long. Almost. Okay. You got the gun. You pull it back. You pull this out. See that thing right there? You got to push. Ooh, wait a minute. You got to push on it that way.
Okay, and then you can
Then
pull it out.
Then pull the thing out that the cylinder turns on. The whole,
Oh,
there,
okay.
There you go. Yeah.
And then this thing.
And then
Does it pop out or not?
No, you got to pull it out, pull it all the way to the fore.
Oh, pull this all the way up?
Yeah, yeah. And then I got to think about it.
Okay, that's
Been
all
so
right.
long. Yeah, I haven't hit it out since 2015, but
I put it back in.
yeah, okay. And the cylinder's in there too, is it? The cylinder that rotates.
Yeah. Just,
Okay, then. Okay, then. Yeah, then that's
so what do we do to just put this back?
yeah. Pull a hammer back.
The hammer's back, then what do we do?
It's pull the hammer back,
Oh, okay.
and then you can pull the trigger and slowly let it back. Make sure it's empty, of course.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
And that way it doesn't shoot.
Yeah, it doesn't shoot. You're right. Yep. And,
Okay.
Whoops. Okay. Now that green one there.
Upstairs, so that's good.
Yeah, exactly.
So what did you shoot with this? This more for personal protection or
I just shot gophers and squirrels and
beer cans?
Well, that too once in a while, sure. Yeah, I practice. That Remington there. That Remington's going to stay with me.
We need to grab that one.
Okay.
Can we grab that one? Is that still in that drawer? I can grab that.
Ruger. And the other one there, yeah, that should be the other Ruger that I bought up in the Upper Peninsula, I think, if I remember right. Remington Magnum,
Extra cylinder.
extra cylinder, yeah. This is I bought this in the 1970s. That's a newer one than the other one over there.
Ruger 22 cal single 6.
Yeah,
So this is the same as that one, but a
Yeah.
newer one.
it's just a longer barrel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's all. And they both shoot the same bullets. So I was out fishing one day and I happened to see a bear turd on the ground and I looked up the tree there and there's a bear up the tree.
Where was that at?
In the Upper Peninsula.
UP?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I figured it wasn't South Dakota.
No, it sure wasn't. I backed right up towards the car and got in. I got out of there. But anyway, and then I just figured I better have a bigger gun. Although the Magnum is a good shooting gun, but if you're going to hunt bear, you're better off having a 44 or a 45, bigger bullet.
Did you end up shooting the bear or you didn't have to?
No, I didn't shoot the bear. No,
Would that protect you against a bear coming, or not really? One of these?
probably piss them off more,
Just
but
piss them off.
I'm guessing anyway. I never had a challenge. Anyway, that one there is going to stay with me, but you can open up and look at it if you want. But
I bet that's a Remington.
that's a Remington 45 caliber.
Ooh.
Yeah,
So that would take out a bear possibly.
that would take out a bear, you betcha. Yeah, it should be empty, but I challenge that.
R1, 1911.
I wanted a Ruger, but they were so far behind in production at that time. You had to wait about 2 months, and then I bought that one. Anyway, it's a good shooting gun. But
Does it have a pretty good kick to it?
oh yeah.
Stands back good.
Yeah. You want to hang on to that baby.
How long have you had this one, Conrad?
Oh, I got that in 2012 or 13, I guess. I don't remember.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was that your most recent gun that you bought?
Yeah. But that's the one I'm gonna keep.
Now, did you buy that gun and not tell Dorothy that you bought it?
I told her.
Oh,
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if that was one that you bought and didn't tell her.
No, that's not so. Not so. Anyway, there's Dorothy's gun. You, Dorothy.
Kill you?
Cooper's got a hold of your gun there. That's the one that, that. You'll probably keep that one too, for you. That's a 25 caliber, semi-automatic. You got to pull the trigger, bang, 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 bang. Not go grrr, not like that, but
How do you load it?
well, you got to go up through the butt,
Oh, right here?
yeah.
How many bullets can you fire?
Six.
Okay.
6. Bang, 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 bang.
Yep.
Yeah, there's bullets in here.
Are there in there?
Yeah.
Okay.
See that gun?
I thought I might
What'd you
have.
say?
I want to see that gun.
I thought I might have loaded it. I wasn't sure.
That teeny gun.
Yo.
A little bit. Hold it down a little bit. A little bit more down.
Yeah.
Oh, he's trying to get it in here.
Yeah, like where
Oh.
the string is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought we were shooting it.
No.
I don't think they're shooting guns.
So confused.
I haven't shot that thing before.
So where's the safety at on this thing?
Well,
So that's the safety right there.
wait a minute. Can't see.
This thing right here. That little lever.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of a safety too. Yeah. But
So if you pull it out, then you can shoot it. But if it's back, you can't. Is that?
yeah. Let me see that. Pencil lumps.
That one's got bullets in
Careful.
it.
Yeah,
It's
right,
got
right.
bullets. Don't
Yeah.
put your finger on that.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Okay.
You have to tell Dorothy there's a bullet hole in the ceiling we have to fix.
I've yet to take her out to shoot that yet, but
That's what she said. She's like, "Well, I'm gonna keep that for protection." I'm like, "Well, you need to go to the gun range before you."
yeah. Right. Yeah. Or
No, have you ever fired that one, Conrad?
just
You ever
20.
fired that
Oh
one?
yeah. I fired. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Has Dorothy ever?
No, she hasn't. She's been wanting to, but I never got her out there, to take in South Dakota now. If I can't be shooting that in the city limits, or they're gonna kick my butt. But out in South Dakota, out in the open range, so to
So if
speak.
you always had that like bedside for protection, you had that for a long time,
Oh
bedside?
yeah, that's my dad's gun. He bought
This
that.
one was?
He bought that when he was out in the field and plowing a lot. All these hobos would come during the Depression. Some are pretty rough-looking boys, They want a job for a day just so they get some money. He put that in his bib overalls just in case somebody got violent. He could blow them away,
Did you ever have to use it?
Not to my knowledge, no.
They're buried more than 6 feet, if so, right?
Oh,
So
with that?
they're buried more than 6 feet out there somewhere,
Well,
right?
Statute
Well.
of limitations.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is like the perfect mafia gun. Like that
There
thing
you
that's
go.
gonna fit in your sleeve, and you're just
Right,
gonna walk
right.
up on someone and you're gonna say, "Hey, how's it going?" Boom, 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 right in the face.
It's like the Godfather,
Exactly.
right?
And when you get started, when
Huh?
you guys traveled, you guys always had a billy club in your car. Did
Oh,
you
yeah,
ever
I
keep
had.
a gun in the car too?
Sometimes, yeah.
Like in the glove box, or where would you keep it?
Well, sometimes it's in the glove box or underneath my seat, so I can get it real fast.
Right.
So
What would you take to put in the car when you travel? Which gun?
it's so
Like a handgun? Like
Yeah.
A little handgun?
yeah, right, yeah. I didn't dare do that when we went to Nova Scotia.
Like the
Yeah.
Remington?
Huh?
The Remington?
What about it?
Is that the one you took with you?
No,
Like one of the Rugers?
Well, one of the Rugers, yeah. I took the big Ruger, the longer barrel one, the one you just
Oh,
looked
okay,
at. Yeah,
Emily, make a pose.
yeah,
Okay, Conrad. These two look like twins.
yeah. One's a Magnum, one's a regular 22.
So Magnum means it's a longer bullet,
Longer bullet, yeah.
longer shell.
More powerful bullet.
And you use these for bird hunting also, or
Oh, yeah, yeah.
pheasant hunting?
Well, no, you're not.
That was just
No, you're supposed to use shotgun for pheasant hunting. Out there anyway. And this one here is just a, what's that say? Regular 22?
Just don't point it. No.
They're very similar.
yeah, that one's got gun bullets in it. Yeah.
I don't want to.
Okay.
Henry repeating arms, and this one is a 22 IR, and this one is a 22 Magnum.
Yeah, right.
So,
Yeah, right. The Magnum, I'll probably want to keep that one. This one right here. And the regular 22, huh?
Like pheasant hunting guns or something like that?
No, you can't hunt. No.
No?
You gotta have a shotgun for shooting pheasants, at least out there. Yeah. So that one I'll probably keep. So
yeah.
that was. And I want to tell you about the 2520, because that's the one that's, just to let you know that you may have problems getting it to lock up. I don't know.
This is a Magnum.
So
It's a longer one.
yeah,
Longer.
we'll,
And which one is that? Is that one of these?
the 25 or the 2520.
Yeah.
We already
Is it
looked
not
at
out
the
here?
25.
I think we done that one, didn't we?
Gotcha.
Okay, yeah. Yeah. That's a 22, or that's a 30-06 there. It's a reconverted military gun. It shoots 30-06s. I bought that in Sault Ste. Marie, Canada, or United States, and in 1970 something.
U.S. model
but they
Edison.
it won't have any serial numbers other than nothing. I don't think.
853-509. 30-06.
306, yeah. It's a good shooter, you know. It's that one I'll keep too. But that, other than that, why the rest can,
Sense?
yeah. That was a good gun for hunting in the woods,
That's what I think that.
huh?
Why is that? Why was
Because the short barrel, 18 inches, yeah, yeah. When you're in the trees, you don't want to have a big long barrel. You can. I mean, it's just I just never cared much about it. I got the short barrel because I wasn't going to be in the UP much longer. But where do you get this from, Tom? This a
Oh, that goes with the long barrel one.
yeah, okay. That's where it should go. Yeah, put that back.
Oh, yeah.
What are these things?
Yeah, the black one, I think, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, and we have this one here.
Well, that is a what the hell is that? It's a
Savage.
Savage 17. Should be a 17. I'm not sure where you got to find that.
Yeah, it's a 93 R17 cal.
Okay. Right.
17 HMR only. Savage.
Savage, yeah, okay.
So this is,
That's smaller than a 22, but it's faster than a 22. You hit a gopher with that, he comes apart at the seams.
okay. So the bullet's smaller, but it goes a lot faster.
Yeah, right, yeah.
That's cool. You go for killer.
That 17's a good shooter, I'll tell you what, that's...
Okay, last one.
Okay, what's the last one? Oh, that's a, the hell is that?
Gamma Whisper Velocity 1200. Is this some type of a pellet gun? 1200
Well,
PS.
well, that's a pellet gun, yep, okay, yep. I haven't shot that very much, but, you know, I
So that's why this is out here.
Yeah.
Because that's more to. Yeah.
It's a suppressor, what they call a suppressor.
And a pellet gun, you have a suppressor, so it's super quiet.
Yeah, I think ours has the same thing.
Does it really?
Yeah, because it's
Go
like,
boom.
you know, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Easier.
Yep.
I haven't used that very much, but anyway.
Yeah, mine, the one I bought.
I'll probably
that
keep that, yeah.
You know, let you
Yeah,
use
I'll keep that
so
one.
graciously.
I'll keep that one. I'll keep the suppressor, or that one there. Yeah, just in case I have to shoot some burglar on in the butt or something.
Burglar in the butt with the pellet gun.
More like I use a 30-06.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Tell us some hunting stories.
Anyway, I gotta.
Yeah, like what's your favorite thing to hunt?
My favorite thing to
Yeah,
hunt.
you're the most exciting thing.
The coyotes.
Why is
Coyotes.
that?
Because they're one of the smartest animals on the planet. They couldn't get rid of them in the early 1900s. They got rid of the wolves, but they couldn't get rid of the coyotes. They're too smart. And they're one of the deadliest predators on the planet.
And do they reproduce fast?
Yeah.
How old does a coyote normally live? Do you know?
I'd have to reread the book again. Now I don't remember.
Like so the average coyote that you shoot, how old would you say it is? Just
Maybe 3-4 years.
3-4 years.
That's a guess.
And then is there anything that you do?
I don't know when that happens.
With the body of the coyote, is there anything like
You can
just
sell our
dispose of
fur.
it?
You can sell our fur in the wintertime.
Just for the fur?
Yeah.
Do you have any coyote like scarves or hats, or have you had any coyote? Like, have you taken a coyote and you've had it like made into
I just
like
shoot
a
them and
hat
let
or
them.
something?
I shoot them and let them lay, and there are other coyotes that come and eat them.
Gotcha.
Oh, really? Other coyotes will eat dead coyotes?
Yeah, yeah, and I don't run them to the. I didn't run them to the fur trader. It's kind of the market's going up and down, and sometimes it almost isn't worth it, So I just shoot them,
Yeah, just to have to drag it back to your car,
Yeah, right
load
there
it
you
up,
go.
unload it.
and they're full of. Their fur is full of. I went out to say.
It's like mangy, aren't they?
They're mangy, yeah,
like?
yeah.
So it's not a very desirable fur.
Yeah, it's desirable, but it's the market's up and down on it. The fur trappers out there, they usually don't last too long because of the market being up and down, So I never bothered, that. I didn't want to drive 30 miles just to drag a coyote into a fur buyer. He's going to tell me the market's down, and you can't.
Yeah.
It's just like,
So what is the first of all these guns here on the floor? What is the first one that you have held in your hands?
I have what?
Of all these guns, what's the first one that you picked up? Of these guns on the floor?
Yeah.
What's the first one that you've held or bought?
Oh, okay.
They're over here.
Let's see. First one I probably bought would be that 22, that regular 22 over there.
And how old were you?
No, it's probably, let's see, 12, 13, I don't remember.
12, 13.
My dad bought it for me, but I paid him back.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's for, and that was 22, and then that Remington 12 model, not the Magnum, but the other one. That was the other one. That was my second gun I bought.
Gotcha.
And and then the regular 22 Ruger.
And how long do you think you've been interested in guns?
What?
How long have you been interested in guns?
Since I was that BB gun, I got 6. They they bought that BB gun for me when I was 6 years old.
Gotcha.
And
you were shooting everything with the BB gun, just cans, little rodents?
I used to shoot sparrows, and I used to shoot gophers with it if I could get close enough to the gophers. So
what was like a day like when you're 6 years old with the BB gun? Like what was your day looking like? What were you excited to do?
with a BB gun.
Yeah, or just like during that time period.
My dad
not
always wanted
specifically.
the sparrows, the English sparrows, shot because they get in the barn, bust windows,
Oh, I got you.
So go get the English sparrows, no blackbirds, no songbirds. Just get the English sparrows, and then once in a while I'd shoot a blackbird, but very rare. But we had plenty of English sparrows around there. I could go out there and shoot 100 a day if I.
And you made fun of it too. It was an enjoyable task.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it was enjoyable. Yeah, it's.
So that was like fun. Like
Yeah.
if you're gonna have fun, you're gonna go out and shoot some sparrows.
Yeah.
What else would you do?
Or with guns or otherwise.
Just with guns or otherwise,
Oh, okay.
either or.
Well, as I got older, of course, I started shooting the 12 gauge, my single barrel. That single one I told you that doesn't want $250 a fix. I started shooting that one. I'd shoot geese with that, and ducks, and pheasants, and trying to remember different things I did, and raccoons. We had a lot of raccoons. And why did we have a lot of raccoons? Because we had 28 acres of trees around the farm.
28 acres of
Yeah.
trees.
Yeah.
So that was like where the prevailing winds came from. Where were there, so that was to a wind block, right?
Yeah.
Those trees were planted as wind
Yeah,
blocks.
right.
So it was a straight line, or it's like a chunk of trees. I'm just talking about like the land itself, like how the trees were planted. You said there's 28 acres
Yeah,
of trees. Is that a line of trees?
Yeah,
or is
they
that
just planted around, nothing.
so more of like a woodland
Yeah.
area?
They planted apple trees, and then they had a lot of plum trees, and then a lot of
So fruit trees that
Fruit
were able to
trees.
grow in that zone.
That would draw the raccoons.
It was what for the raccoons?
It would draw in the raccoons because they like a lot of fruit, and apples.
And that was unintentional.
Yeah, it wasn't intentional. They just planted them,
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't get involved in that part. I came too late. I came 1943, but they were planted there before I came into the world. But so they would.
But they were fully matured trees.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Most
And were they cut down at what point?
they were not cut down.
They're not cut down.
They're still there.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Box elder trees. That's a tree you don't really want around, but they're okay, But
Box elder, is that an evergreen
no,
tree?
no, it's just it's not an evergreen tree. No,
Okay.
no,
Yeah. I think I'm thinking of what you're thinking of now.
No. So, and they planted a lot of. They had ash trees there. They had. Let's see, I'm trying to remember. American elm. A lot of American elm there. They were good trees for wind protection. And of course, they had the old standard standby, I think I remember this one. I can't remember the name of the tree now. It's a big, tall tree anyway. And the coons liked it. They'd climb up there about 100 feet tall. And then I'd take the shotgun out and either blow them out of the tree or a rifle,
Mm-hmm.
So which were one day they had a big old raccoon up there. It must have went about. He come down. When a raccoon comes down the tree forward, he means business. And Battle was there, my first dog, and they got
What kind of dog was that?
just a mutt.
Gotcha.
But what a mutt. He was a good dog. And they got into a fight, and Battle got his ear ripped really bad, and then we had bag balm there. And
What's that? You had what?
bag balm when the cows when it got real cold out, if the cow's tits froze, we put bag balm on it.
I don't know what that is. Is
No,
that like
you-
burlap?
Huh?
Is that like burlap or it's a?
No, it's like a
Oh, it's a cream. Bag balm.
What?
Bag balm is a cream,
Yeah, like a
Okay.
cream. Yeah,
and that
Okay.
would just keep them. It's like a lotion
Yeah, it would keep
to
it.
keep them moisturized.
Yeah,
or-
right. Yeah,
Okay.
because we milk cows by hand.
Gotcha.
We didn't have electricity,
Gotcha.
so we had to have that. Anyway, I don't know. I can't remember. And one day, my brother and I and Larry Ness, who was a neighbor of ours, we went in the wintertime. They had about 15 coons were in a hog house, empty hog house. And then we went in there and we shot all 15 of them. We got money for them though. We took them into the fur dealer and got money for
For the
them.
raccoons.
Yeah.
And you would always do that for raccoons. You'd never leave raccoons there.
About $5 a coon, I think it was. Of course, a lot of them were shot full of holes too.
Oh, okay.
So
It's like the worst shape they're in.
Yeah, they
look
were
at
not-
each
they
one,
were
they're
in
like,
good
I'll give you $5 for this one,
Yeah,
$4 for this one.
So anyway, it's just I didn't do a lot of fur trading. My dad, I would go out when before I went to the one-room schoolhouse. He'd take me with the trapping, and it didn't pay out very well, so he quit doing it. So
What was the most profitable thing to fur trap?
for fur trap would
Yeah.
be, I suppose if you skun a deer, you'd probably get pretty good bucks for the hide if you did it right, cut them right.
And there's many deer out there.
It's what?
There's many deer out
Yeah.
there.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Do
you bet.
they have enough woods, or like where do the deer primarily stay out there? Are there enough trees?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. When my grandfather come there in 1878, there were no deer out there.
It was all just 8-foot tall grass, right?
Well, not 8 foot, but 2 to 3 feet for sure,
Oh,
at least. So there were no deer there.
Gotcha.
There were elk there, but there were no deer.
I thought it was tall enough so that you couldn't see through it.
Well, even 2 3 feet high, average, you'll be able to see a deer if you're not.
I
but,
gotcha.
But it's there were no trails, there were no roads when he was there, and then if they went to Canby, Minnesota, 50 miles away, they had to
And then this is when they had the property in Sinai.
Yeah.
So they already had the property, and now
Yeah.
they're taking a trip to Minnesota.
Yeah, take a trip to
And
Minnesota.
this is Ole?
Huh?
And this is Ole or?
Ole.
Okay.
Ole Jr.
Yep.
There's Ole Sr. who froze to death, and then there's Ole Jr. That was just be my grandfather.
And Ole Sr., when he froze to death, what year was that?
1888.
And that was like a once in 100-year
Yeah.
winter storm.
Yeah.
And he was on the property. He
was
died on the property.
Yeah, yeah.
What was he doing?
He was going out to get the, excuse me, he was going to go out and get the water of the cows. And because they had to break the ice, there was some ice there.
So from the homestead, the cows were, I don't know, a couple.
Not very far away.
Not very far away,
No.
but he got there when the storm wasn't too bad.
Right.
And
Storm-
he did his job.
Did his job. So starting the back towards the cabin, and that's when the storm hit. January 12th, 1888. And it hit hard. 70-mile-an-hour winds, 40 below zero. He never made the cabin. They found him laying outside the door, not very many feet from the door, but he was dead.
And they found him like the next day after the
the
storm.
next day, they had a search party for him, yeah.
And he was just like a couple feet from the door. He was just
Yeah,
right
a few
out there.
feet, yeah. So anyway, it's one of the worst natural disasters to ever hit the lower 48 states, even today. He lost his life. He was the only one in Brookings County that lost his life, along with many other animals, but as far as humans.
Yeah.
And it's even today, it's revered as one of the worst natural disasters in the lower 48 states. And they come down from Alberta, Canada, and almost every year around this time, this is not March yet. Well, it is March.
Yeah, it's March. It's
it is
March 2nd.
Yeah. Okay. They would come down, and I've seen it 40 below there in a wind, 50 miles an hour. You don't want to be out. You'll die if you get caught out. And so there's a lot of things you got to look out for out there.
And for water, because when they first got there, they thought they could drink out of the sloughs.
Well, it's too alkaline.
Too alkaline. So
Yeah.
the cows, what happened to the cows?
They drank out of the sloughs, but if they got water, they had to boil it, and they had to boil it for 15 minutes, and then let it cool, and then they could drink it. But it wasn't very good. It wasn't a good, very tasting water. They found a spring. They didn't.
And this is a spring that's flowing on the
Yeah.
ground.
Yeah, it flows into what they call Malumbi Slough. Why slough they call it, I don't know. The water's really clear and pure. I used to drink out of it when I was a kid. To my dad, my dad found out about it.
And he didn't let you drink out of the stream? Why is that?
Well, they weren't really fertilizing like they do today. You don't want to drink out of it today.
Because today there's a bunch of chemicals from the runoff of the fields into
yeah.
the stream. But back then it was fine to drink because there was
Back then it was okay.
there's no herbicides, no pesticides, or any of that stuff.
My dad told me, never go up that hill again without a bigger gun. Well, the only thing I had at the time was a BB gun. And later on, when I got my 22, then I'd go up there. But
And why did he say that?
because just to have a bigger gun, for a 22 wouldn't kill a deer probably unless you.
I gotcha.
Yeah. So there's on the prairie out there before the white man came. There was a lot of death out there. The Indians were still on the warpath. Custer hadn't been wiped out yet. He got wiped out in 1876, the 100-year anniversary of the United States. But anyway, and that was the last final frontier. When Custer got wiped out, the Army really started going after the Indians because they really embarrassed the United States. The 100-year anniversary, supposedly one of the best journalists. He really wasn't. It got wiped out by Indians, but anyway, there's a lot of issues there. But so
Yeah, you know a lot of the history.
yeah, well, I don't know as much as I should, but I know quite a bit. And so He was a lot of. Actually, the guy that probably helped him find that spring, because all it was the grass is 2 to 3 feet high. You couldn't see the spring. You had to know where it was at. And this Indian met my dad when he was carrying 2 4-gallon pails of water. He had to walk a mile back.
And this is the Indian walking with the water, and your
No.
dad finds him?
No.
Your dad is walking with water.
My dad's walking with the water, and this Indian came out of the bush, so to speak, and showed him where the spring water was.
Gotcha.
And so they went out, so they didn't have to boil water anymore. They just went up there and they drank out of the spring, or brought the water back. That's what his story was to me. And that's all I can relate to you. I don't know.
And did you know the name of that man that showed your dad where the water was?
Well,
or what was the guy you knew the name of?
Ink Paduta?
Yes.
Yeah. Did I know him? No.
No. Not that you knew him, but you knew, like, what was his story, basically?
His story?
Yeah. What was he the same guy that showed your dad where the water was in Canada?
Yeah.
So that's that guy.
He couldn't speak Norwegian. My father or my grandfather couldn't speak Indian, so they're kind of doing sign language back and forth. But Ink Paduta, he would flee into Dakota Territory. He's the one that was responsible for the massacre at Lake Okoboji in Iowa, which at that time was about 50 miles from there. And the Army was always trying to catch him. They could never catch him. He fled into Dakota, and his camp was only 18 miles away from where, where our farm was. So, but Dad only got the story from his dad, so I don't know how much is
accurate. You don't know how much is accurate.
Yeah,
or how
I
much
don't
is
know.
fable.
Yeah, right. So, but he was always trying to help the white man. And
even though he was being hunted for
even
the
though
wars
he's
he
being
caused?
hunted, right? If they're going to capture him, they're going to hang him, like they hung him in 38 Sioux, when they started the War of 1862. So he ended up going to Manitoba, Canada, just to get away from the Army catching him. So
then after that, your grandfather never saw him again?
No, never. He was at the Battle of Little Bighorn. Ink Paduta was. Him and Sitting Bull got together at the Battle of Kildare Mountain in North Dakota, and they became friends. And he invited him to come to the where Custer got killed, and he was there. He lost 2 of his sons there, and he didn't lose his life there, but he was quite a guy, actually. I got a book about him downstairs, but it doesn't say anything much about that. But he was he tried to help the white man, but they wouldn't let him.
And why was he doing that?
I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know the workings of his inner mind. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
That's a guy. I always wondered about that too. So,
but his desires weren't really known.
Yeah. Anyway, he had to flee into Canada. Well, that's where Sitting Bull invited him. He was living in Canada. He said, "We're going to have a big battle here." And, when Sheridan gave the Sioux an ultimatum, either come back to the reservations by such and such a time, and they had to leave their village in the wintertime, and that was like a death sentence in itself out there. It could be a death sentence,
Because leaving in the winter, you could get stuck in a storm.
They would go to the Black Hills and seek shelter there. Usually they're on their winter camps.
And what was there at the Black Hills?
Oh, big hills,
Gotcha. So it was just a wind block.
Wind blocker, yeah. That's why they go there. So, anyway, he lost his 2 sons at the Battle of Little Bighorn. He lost another one at in South Dakota. Big Stone Lake, and then they killed another one of his sons. He tried to go back to Minnesota, and they caught him out there, and they surrounded him and shot him.
Ink Paduta?
And it's all in actually Minnesota. He went back to Minnesota. So that's really about all I know about him. I read the book, but it's taken from contemporary sources, so you don't know how much is true,
accurate.
you know. So it's kind of one of those things. But
How
anyway.
did who ended up with a Civil War rifle? Was that your grandfather?
Yeah.
So how did he get that?
Huh?
How did he get that?
Well, there was a Minnesota trooper coming back from the Civil War, and then
And this is right after the Civil War.
yeah, right after Civil War, 1862. So the Civil War was still going, but he hit my grandfather had a 10 gauge shotgun, double barrel shotgun, and that was his only weapon he had. And then the story is he bought the rifle from a Minnesota trooper who had been in the Civil War. I never seen the gun. I think the gun went to Oliver, my dad's half brother, or his half sister, either one, I don't know. So I never seen the gun. So either 10 gauge or he used to go out and shoot ducks and geese with a 10 gauge. He'd give them both barrels. Sometimes he'd knock down sometimes a dozen birds, you know, with a shot.
Wow.
And he would trade them. He would trade birds for maybe somebody had a bunch of chickens with eggs, you know. He was like a, what do they call that when they do that?
A trade.
A trade.
You have some chickens, they have some eggs,
Yeah.
or you have some duck,
Yeah.
some killed duck.
And when they go to Minnesota, Canby, they take their sacks of grain.
And why would they go to Minnesota?
Because that was the closest place they could go to sell their sacks of grain.
Wow.
And get money.
And how far away is
50
Minnesota?
about 50 miles away,
Okay.
approximately 50 miles.
And how long would it take them to travel 50 miles? How are
Well,
they
if you're
traveling?
traveling 3 miles an hour on a walk,
They're walking.
yeah, they had to walk.
So they're walking 50 miles to sell.
Yeah, 50 miles. They'd be gone 2 weeks. And
Wow.
they leave their wives to home. But by 1880, there wasn't too much to worry about with the Indians. They were pretty much been subdued. So but you don't know that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And the Indians come by and they see, you know, just one white woman alone, let's go get her, you know. It didn't happen that way, but it could have, you know, so.
And it also happened the other way around,
Uh-huh.
too. It also happened the other way around, too.
Yeah. So, and then to find Canby, they had to plow a one-bottom plow.
A what plow?
A one-bottom plow.
Gotcha. So a horse and a one-bottom plow.
Yeah, so they could follow the turned over ground all the way to Canby. So they could. Otherwise, they got lost in the sea of grass. They wouldn't know where they're at. So, I got a book down that shows that too. But anyway, so they went from a barter system to a money system eventually.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that's why they do that. So it was tough living out there. It really was, you know. Not that I can say from experience, but what I think about, you know, the grass. They were worried about in the summer months fires, you know.
So dry. Because it doesn't rain that much.
It doesn't rain that much. Yeah,
How many times would it rain a year? Would you say?
you get a lot more rain here than we do out there. That's all I know. How much more, I don't know.
Just a couple days a year, not that much.
Yeah, it'd be more than that. But,
Okay.
you know, yeah, it'd be more than that. But well, how much more? I don't know. I'd be guessing. I wouldn't really know. But so it's there's when they come out there are a lot of wolves left. You know, even though they pretty much cleaned the wolves out by the end, wait a minute. The early 1800s, they were pretty well cleaned out.
And they clean the bison out before
Bison,
then.
yeah. Bison and oats and corn and don't mix. The bison were pretty much gone by 1840 where we lived. There, instead of being millions, there might have been hundreds, but even so, they couldn't coexist.
With what we were growing.
The wheat was growing, or you know, the bison, you'd get a
Because they would eat the natural grass, the prairie grass,
yeah,
which
they,
is a variety of species of
Yeah, right,
grasses
right.
and wildflowers. And
they couldn't exist, and they wanted to clean the buffalo anyway to get rid of the Indians.
yeah, like as an insult.
The
Like,
buffalo.
this is what
the
you
Indians.
eat.
The Indians. The buffalo were the Indians' economy.
Yes.
You know, they wanted to get rid of them, and so that was.
A mistake.
And there are a lot of other things out there too, but the main thing was snowstorms or fires in the summertime.
Fires.
Yeah.
And how like once a fire starts, it's burning a whole field and it's not stopping.
Fire can go forever, you know, 2 or 3 feet high grass, you know.
And it's all dry.
Yeah, and it's dry. Yeah. So, you know, I'm not speaking from experience. I've been speaking from how I visualize it, but that could be wrong.
So
too.
what's your experience on the land?
What?
What's your experience on the land?
What's my experience? on
Yeah,
it?
yeah. You said it wasn't too hard for you, or that's not your experience. But what's your experience?
Oh. I remember when I was out there, we had to. My mother said we got to watch for fires. I never really knew why. I was too small. We'd have gunny sacks. We seen a fire. We put the gunny sacks and you know, let them soak with water. Then we go out there and swing them and stop the fires.
And what is a gunny sack? What is that?
How do I?
It holds water and it
holds grain.
holds grain. Okay.
Yeah. So they get paid money for grain in Canby, Minnesota.
Gotcha.
So and then
Then you could soak that with water.
Yeah.
And then you could like spritz the water by tossing it around.
I've been on that line more than once, but I was pretty scared. My mother was out there with me. Dad was out in the field, and we got it stopped, but, you know, it was pretty close, you know. This is back in the 1950s now, but, you know, 40s, 50s. But,
And it's burning your crops. That's what
well,
the fire's
it could
burning.
it could burn the crops. It did burn the crops, some of it.
Because there's not really much prairie land out there anymore. It's all farmland, right?
It's all pretty much all farmland now, yeah. It's pretty much that, so, yeah. Guys are sleeping over here. My story wasn't very interesting.
Oh no, it was great.
Well, anyway, you know, I wish I could quote from more experience, but I can't. So, so anyway, my dad knew I was interested in guns and shooting, and he bought that revolver and bought the rifle and the shotgun, and I bought the shotgun myself from Brookings, and then he was always. My dad and mother were really good.
How about dogs, like on the farm, like as a kid? Like you said, you mentioned one mutt. What was that name?
Battle. He was a mutt. You know, boy, he was a great dog. I tell you what, I'd take him out duck hunting with me, and he just loved it, you know. And he'd go out there and get the duck, swim out and get the duck in the slough. I could walk out in the slough, but he'd go out and swim out there. And then he'd drop the duck. When he gets back on shore, he'd drop the duck right where he got back on shore. He said, "Come on, Battle, bring him over here." You know, he never would. That's the only thing I couldn't get him to do.
And so was that the only dog?
Huh?
Was that the only dog you had?
Well, I had Lassie first. Then we had Battle. Then I had Lassie had a whole bunch of pups, and Dawn and I, my sister and I, would be out there petting the pups. We never had any trouble getting rid of them.
People wanted the dogs.
Yeah, right.
And mostly for like work, like for hunting, or
Probably, I don't know
or
for
just
sure.
just for pets.
For pets.
I mean, it's easy to have pets when you have a lot of land.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. So, yeah. I hated to see him leave because I liked going out there. My sister and I, and she was 2 years older than me, but we'd go out there and pet the pups, and Lassie would just love it. She was the mother, you know. She liked it. But anyway, we had a lot of. I really miss them when they're gone, but that's the way life goes, you know.
Yeah.
You go, so that's just the way it is. So, my sister and I, we got along real good. My older brother, we didn't get along so great. He still don't to this very day. But that's not my fault. Well, it is. I exist, I guess. I shouldn't say that. But I always tried to get along with him. It was impossible. He was such a, he wasn't a very good person. So he's in a nursing home now. So that's.
Well, we all end up in the same place.
You right?
We all end up in the same
right,
place.
eventually, yeah.
How did you meet Grandma?
Okay. Do I dare say?
Yeah. Strip club.
Huh?
Strip club?
Whoops. No, I met her here in Portage.
And why were you here? So
Going to Western Michigan University.
okay.
Yeah.
So and why'd you pick Western?
What?
Why'd you pick Western Michigan University?
Because I take all when I went to Flint Junior College, they were the only four-year degree college that would take all of my credits that I had at Flint Junior College. Flint Junior College at that time was the top 10 junior colleges in the nation.
And where is that? Where is Flint Junior College?
In Flint, Michigan.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay.
I got 1966. I started Flint
And so how did you get to Michigan? How did you get to
Air
Flint?
Force.
Air Force.
Transferred to Kingsville Air Force Base. That's how I got here. So I didn't even know Michigan had an Upper Peninsula.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it should just be part of Wisconsin or something. But
What's that?
it seems like it should just be part of Wisconsin.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it does.
But so you're at Western.
You what?
You're at Western Michigan University. You transferred from Flint.
Right.
And so how'd you meet Grandma from this point?
I didn't meet her in Flint. I met her here.
Yeah. So at Western. Sorry, I cut you off from where you were. You left off. You said you're at Western.
Yeah, I was going to college here at Michigan at Western, and one Sunday night, and I had a bunch of exams on Monday, and I was studying, and if you study after a while, you get so damn tired you can't figure things out.
Mm-hmm.
I just got up and walked out, and what am I going to do now? And well, I hadn't been bowling for years since 1962. I went around the bowling alley. Got a new bowling alley in Portage, and I met her at the hell was her name? I can't.
Sunset Lanes.
What was the name of that bowling alley that I met you at, Dorothy?
Continental?
Is it Continental or Sunset Lanes or
Continental.
Continental?
But it was in the bar.
At Continental Lanes.
Continental Lanes.
Yeah.
That was it. Yeah.
It was a dance place.
Was that doing?
It was a dance place.
It was they had dancing there at the bar as well.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, dancing. Yeah.
Yeah. So did you bowl or did you go to the bar or
I
dance?
bowled, and then you can bowl against yourself, and then I gotta do better the next time, I think the first three throws I went gutter balls, and that's that I can attest to. So anyway,
Okay, so
I don't have anything.
then you go to the bar.
well,
You go in the bar
yeah.
and you see some lady there.
And then
She asked you out or you asked her out?
Here,
Did you walk up to her or did she walk up to you?
I walked up to her.
Yeah, and what'd you say?
She says, "I want you. I want you." That's kind of
Truth is
the
coming
line. Anyway, make the best of it. That's all you can do.
So you walked up to her. So she caught your attention. Do you remember what she was wearing?
She just had long, flowing brown hair.
Nice.
That's what caught my attention.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
why not? I'm standing here. I'm done bowling. And so I walked over there and introduced myself. So,
Did you buy her a drink?
no. Well, maybe I did. I can't remember. I don't think I did. Anyway,
And how did you end the evening? Did you get a phone number or did you tell her where you're living or ask where she lived or?
I got her phone number. Just thought of, so anyway, I used to bowl in Brookings before I went to the Air Force. And that was pretty good,
Well, I want to go back to you and Dorothy. So how long did you two date before you married? Couple years, couple months?
5 years maybe.
5 years, okay.
I don't remember for sure now.
It was something like that anyway.
Okay.
So anyway. So, kind of a short story of my life, I guess, so. But I just,
What are you most proud of in your accomplishment in your life? What are you most proud of?
when I worked at Wolf Lake State Fish Hatchery,
Yep.
that was probably the biggest accomplishment. I wasn't trying to do that, but we had to get rid of some bad management first. I don't know if you knew Jim Copeland or not, but anyway, he was a plant. But I got rid of him, and I just talked to Mel Piment. He was the head of the electrical department, and I said, Mel, now that we got rid of Copeland and Doug Hall, we need to get this oxygen generator going. He said, well, you've been talking to me about that since you've been here. Almost, just here, you get out there. When you come to work next day, you get on there and start working on that. I said, I got nothing to go on. He said, I know Doug took all the information we had on and threw it away. Doug, he was my boss at that time. And then he said, well, you were in the Air Force, weren't you? I said, yeah. Didn't you have to do a lot of thinking outside the box? I wish we did, but we had tech manuals to do it with. So we had a kind of a guide to go by. But there I had nothing. And it took me a month to get it going where I got 100% oxygen. We were only getting 35%. They come in,
And how many fish did you end up saving?
by first day on the job, we buried 200 million. Or check that, not mil. We buried well over about 1 or 2 billion fish.
Buried?
Huh?
You said you buried these
Yeah.
fish?
They had a thunderstorm, and the lights went out, and then the fish didn't have any oxygen for not very long, and
But enough time for them to not
yeah,
make it through.
He wasn't, I'm new there, and I didn't know a lot about the operation, and second. Okay, anyway. So I knew I couldn't do anything, and eventually I ended up doing things,
So when you got there, the tanks were only functioning at 35%.
Well,
And then within 1 month, you fixed it. And
not
got it
1 month, no,
100%.
couple of years.
Couple years.
Yeah. So,
So it was just a not operational. It just wasn't working.
yeah, just,
Because what was the main problem that you figured out?
well, they come and replace the valves. They get up to from 35 cents, they go up to oxygen. They might go up to 90 for a while, and then they drop back down again.
And what is the optimal level of oxygen in water for having fish?
Oh boy, I don't really have an answer.
But
for that.
like if it drops below a certain level, like when is it dangerous? I guess.
The danger zone was Copeland would overstock the tanks to cover up for his miscues, I guess you could call it. But anyway, when I got the oxygen up to 95%, and I just stopped and told them, showed them what I did. It was a spring inside the what do I want to call it? It was busted, kept busting all the time. So at least I found the problem, and then we got it back up to 100%, 95 to 100%, and there was no problem. So and there hasn't been since. So they told me anyway.
And you had to totally think outside the box and kind of jerry-rig it yourself, didn't you?
Yeah, right, yeah.
With limited supplies and tools.
Right. We had to do that at the Air Force too, but at least we had the tech manuals there.
Right.
The manuals about that thick on B-52Hs. The B-52H was one of the best deliveries, what they call a delivery system in the world at that time, and I believe that. But so it was we struggled, you know. We got 3, 4 guys together. We'd figure it out, you know. But then, except for that oxygen generator, that damn thing. Anyway, that's another story. But anyway,
So
I got
you came to work at the fish hatchery, and what was like your starting job? Like, did you see an application for what job, or did you go there and?
Dorothy seen the application in paper, and I was working under Manpower. That's just a employment agency, and Dorothy seen this ad in the paper for they needed a summer helper for Wolf Lake State Fish Hatchery, paying $4.10 an hour.
Gotcha.
So, well, I can go down there and see if they'll. I was getting kind of tired
How
working.
much was it an hour starting out?
$4.15. Not very much.
Minimum.
So, anyway, it was a little bit more what I was making with Manpower, but Manpower was pretty good. I got no complaint against them. I worked at a lot of paper mills here in town. You know, they wanted to keep me at the other one. And I said, when the hatchery called, and I said, well, I said I want to go to the hatchery. They got better. You know, what do you want to call it?
Pay.
For
Or
the
working conditions?
retirement system, you know, and all that kind of stuff, you know.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about when you sold real estate.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, tell me about that job.
Well, I met when I was going to Western here. I happened to meet Joe Huffman. He was the same age as I was, and we got down to where I could walk to. I lived just down below Eastern Michigan's hill, on Davis Street. I don't even know where Davis Street's at, but so sometimes he'd walk and I'd walk, and we'd meet and we'd talk, and then he said that he was ahead of me. He was 2 years ahead of me, but he was going to graduate, and he said, "How'd you like to come to work for? I like to get into real estate." I said, "Well, I don't know that much about real estate. I never took a course in it." "Well, take a course in it, and you know, if I get a job or where I can hire somebody, I'll call you." "Oh, all right." So anyway, I took a course in it because I was going to do it anyway, but I just done it faster since he asked me. And so I took a course in real estate, and a couple courses actually. And I took real estate law at Western. Then I took real estate at Kalamazoo Junior College over here. So, and then I went back to South Dakota, and then I took a job at the welding job for farm machinery there in Sioux Falls, making $7 something an hour. And then they had a big drought out there in 1974. I mean, it was dry. It was bone dry. You couldn't hardly get a shovel in the ground. It was so we hadn't had rain for weeks, and we were losing sales, you know. So anyway, in 1975, I come back to Michigan. I called Joe. I said, "Joe, your old pal Conrad, where the hell you at?" He says, "I've been trying to get a hold of you." He was working for Westdale in the Portage office here. "Yeah, come on out. You're hired." He says, "Oh, you haven't seen me yet. Did you change?" No, I hope not. Other than being old, a couple of
Did you
years.
like selling real estate in Kalamazoo?
Yeah, it was all right, but it's kind of a. Yeah, it was. You know, I enjoyed it, but I didn't.
You did that for a few years, but then the inflation
Yeah,
crazy, right?
yeah. Yep. So I
Didn't you win an award?
yeah, I got the salesman of the year for the office.
Well, that's not too shabby.
No.
What
Where
do
would
you
you
have to do to earn that?
just sell more real estate than anybody else, you know?
That's pretty cool.
That was 1979, before all this inflation climbed for,
Yeah.
you know, then everything went to hell in a handbasket. So it's just, you know, so it was, I didn't like the fact that sometimes you could have a lot of sales and all of a sudden you get down to nothing, you know.
Right.
I didn't like that part, and there really wasn't a lot you could do about it. Well, you could work harder, but anyway, I got, anyway, I got out of there. I got Copeland out of there, and Doug Hall. He passed away when I went back to South Dakota. He died of a heart attack. He'd been in Vietnam and fighting in the jungle and ambushing geeks and all that kind of stuff, as you call it. So I come back and I asked about Doug Hall. He had died. He went up north. And so he was a pretty good guy, but he was kind of a jerk, you know. I just couldn't.
Do you have any in your lifetime? Do you have any regrets or anything? Do you have any regrets in your lifetime?
Biggest regret.
Not any big regrets, I guess. Just, you know, I wish things could have worked out better. I wish I didn't have to jump in the Copeland scrap and get him out of there. And nobody thought they could ever get him out of there. Here I come, I'm the youngest guy at the hatchery, not the youngest, but, and then I come in there and take him out, you know. And I took him out right. But they didn't, Doug Hall and Copeland, they didn't think that they were ever going to get, well, Doug Hall, he was the son of the guy that run the fish hatcheries. That's how he got in. But he was pretty good, but anyway, he was, in the end there, you know that bar you got on M40 over here? It kind of sits back this side of when you go down 40 towards Pawpaw. Every time you wanted him, you had to call down the bar to get him. He should have been at work, you know. I didn't start there.
Black Ram?
Huh?
Was that the Black Ram bar?
No, the Black Ram was on the other.
That was okay.
It was on the other one, yeah. So anyway, he was Thomas Coles. He was a fish hatchery foreman, good guy, and he stayed right with me on the whole thing. I was surprised, you know. He just come to me and says, Conrad, I'm going to back you 100% what you're doing. I wish we had somebody come here years ago and done this. And he says, I don't know what's going to happen to this, he says, but I'm behind you. And he was.
Good.
And he lived in Mattawan. Anyway, and he was just a good guy, you know. He encouraged me to keep doing what I'm doing, you know. So I did. I didn't like doing it, but something had to give, you know. You can't be burying 2 million fish a year, you know.
Right.
And you need to fix things, you know. So I don't know.
Hey, Grandpa. So how do you pronounce? Is it Tisland? The Ole, the name that he changed it to originally. He changed his name because there were too many Olsons.
Yeah.
I was reading. He changed it to Tyskland.
Is that
Tisland.
Is that what it says in there? Tysa?
And it says that was the name of the farm they lived in on Norway.
Okay. All right.
And then from there, it says that the Minnesota clerk advised him to simplify it to Tisland.
Right. Yeah. Yep.
That's pretty interesting.
1873, I think it was. I don't know if they gave a date on there or not.
I don't think it has a date.
Okay.
Up here it says, Ole and his parents arrived in the United States in 1868.
Yeah, they did.
3 children were left.
Yeah. I don't. They have a pioneer cemetery about a mile from where our land is, and when Ole Sr. died from froze to death, they buried him out there. They had to let his body thaw before they could bury him, get him in a pine box. But
they had to let it thaw just so they could fit him in because
yeah.
his arms were out here or something.
Oh yeah,
So they couldn't
well it's
fit him
40
in the
below,
box.
and the wind is blowing 70 miles an hour. They figured at least, and then that's how he died.
And
So-
he just froze to death.
Yeah.
He was just an icicle.
Yeah, just froze to death. Yep.
Just the wind knocked him over and he just couldn't get up. Like,
Well, it wasn't the wind. They had some warm days, and then they thawed. But then it snowed the night before. Maybe, I think the book said 5-6 inches. I don't know if it says that or not. Anyway, the wind had blown so hard, they'd blind you, you know. And then he lost his way that way, I'm sure. But
his
To some
eyes probably just froze.
yeah, and his wife tried to keep the lights going, and they had lantern lights, and so he could find his way home. He never did see him. And when they found him the next day after searching for him, he was only a few feet from the house. He just missed it, but he was already froze so bad that he couldn't function. I guess, I don't know.
Oof.
And then I think you told me that she tried to open the door, but then she had to close the door because to look for him because it was so.
She froze her feet.
Yeah.
She froze her feet.
She had frostbite on her feet.
Yeah.
Went out there looking for him, like just opening the
She
door.
was a real. My mother said she was a real complaining bitch all the time. I don't know.
Because that was her mom.
Huh?
That was so. What was the relation of that woman to your mom? Ole's, or wait, no. Yep, I got it. Sorry, I was just.
Well, it's hard for you to figure out,
Yep.
I'm telling you, and
I was just.
it's tough, so anyway, you see, and what's that book you got there?
This one is Brookings County History book. I'm on the page here. It has Carl and June Tisland family. Has you in here too, and then it has Ole Tisland.
Anyway,
Pretty crazy.
Yeah. I have a lake. We lived a mile from Lake County. We lived in Brookings County, a mile away from Lake County. I got the Lake County book too, the history book, in Madison, South Dakota. And that, I don't know if you have that. Anyway.
Let's see what I got here. These are Dakota Territory, Volume 1, Volume 2.
Right,
And then I
yeah.
got History of Sinai Community. And then this is the
Yeah.
Comporium. This is the Compendium of Biography.
Yeah.
So what's the story with this book?
Compendium. Well, I first found that book in Kingsbury County, and when I was going to pay taxes, I thought I'd stop at the visit the library, and I seen that book, and my grandfather's name is in that book, and I read that, and they wouldn't let me check it out. It was in worse shape than this book, and what kind of, so I took them, can you make copies of the page you don't want? So you can do that. So I made a copy of it, and I still have the copy, but anyway, you'll probably never find this book again. Well, I did, in Watertown, South Dakota, 50 miles away, so then I bought it. They had it up for sale, and they wanted only about $1 for it. I couldn't believe it. Well, okay. So I went to pay it and pay the buck, and she looked at that book and she said, "This isn't right." I thought, "Oh shit, here we go," Anyway, see, well, show me where it says is $1. There was $1.50 or something like that. Okay, well, come on, follow me. Sure enough. Well, I guess we gotta let it go. I said, yeah, you do. I was pissed. I thought you would either sell it to me or I had to pay $20, $30 for the book. I got it anyway. So, anyway, I bought that one at Watertown. And one thing about this book is, if it's over 100 years old, you don't have to worry about it. You can kind of verbatim. If a book is over 100 years old, you don't have to have a thing on there to share on that you're the author, So at least I get
For copyright, you're saying?
Copy, yeah, I'll have copyright, yeah, you bet. Yeah, I couldn't pick the name. So anyway, I bought the book and the other two books are the Kingsbury County books, and I can see that people were pissed. They knew they made a mistake, but I just kept on moving. Got out of there. Then they having a book sale, It was a little bit mall. It was a little bitty mall in
Was it the
Watertown.
library you're buying
Huh?
it from, or where were you buying it from? The courthouse?
No, it was. It's called Angela's Attic. It's
Oh,
like
it's a
it's,
bookstore.
yeah, bookstore or like an antique store. So, but I walked out into uh, the mall. That's what I'll call it, a mall, small mall. They were having a book sale, and that's when I found that other book. The title of it was shoot. I know I got it downstairs somewhere, but anyway. And Campaign 76. That's the title of the book. And I thought that was about, some politician running, in 1976. I passed it by. I come back. I take a look at that book. Sure enough, it was Custer's campaign against the Indians in 1976, and he got wiped out. One of the best books I've ever bought. And he told about his campaign and everything. And boy, the book was kind of in rough shape, and had 35 cents on it. And I reached in my pocket to get 35 cents, and the guy says, "This book is such a bad, rough shape. Why don't you just take it?" He didn't have to ask me. He didn't have to ask me again, so I took it. And it's one of the best books I've got now there about Custer's campaign against the Indians, out in actually be the Crow Indian Reservation in Minnesota, or not Minnesota, but in Montana. So it was a good book. So I still got it. I had it fixed up. I had to pay $14 to get it fixed up. No big deal.
What's it called?
It's called Campaign 76. Yeah. And you could probably put the
Hey, Conrad, what were your service dates?
May 31st, 1962 to May 30th, 1966. That's my service dates. 4 years. And so anyway, it was a good find, and yeah. Well, I mean, it's interesting. One of the books on the had my dad's name in it anyway, wrote in it. And so anyway, you had to serve 4 years in the Air Force, and I was going to go in and the spring of 1962, my dad got racked up in a corn picking accident. He stripped him clean of his clothes, and did you find the book?
I believe so. I found
That's it.
this one right here.
Yep, that's it. That's one of the best books about the Custer's campaign that I've got. There's plenty of others too, though, but this is a good one. So the cover was gone. You can see it's got a new ring here.
Yeah.
So it's $14 to do that. A lady in Brookings was starting up a to write to. Oh, poochie wooch.
Yeah. I was having some issues with the microphone, so it's only recording his right now. But I'll see if I can get yours going. I'm just gonna pause real quick.
You doing okay, Conrad?
Yeah, I'm okay.
You have about 8 more hours of this. Is that okay? About 8 more hours. We're about halfway. We're about.
Well, there's that gun.
No, I'm joking.
Excuse me, Ellie.
What time is it now?
Over, Mom.
No, it's
Oh, wait,
about dinner time.
It's 6. It's 6. Shit.
In a hurry?
It's almost 8 o'clock.
What's 8 o'clock? Oh, what?
Sorry, that's not for you. I'm just testing this.
It's not for you. You're just having a look at it.
I don't know why sometimes.
Yeah, that book was all battered and beat up. And I told her to try to save this, and she did. And she did a good job. And
How do they fix a book like that? What do they do?
I have no
They
idea.
rebind it. They take out the pages and rebind it. So see how it's spiral bound? I'm sure it wasn't, you know.
He was in tough shape. He was, so. When I went by it the first time, I guess I didn't see the feathers on this Indian's head. I thought I was some political guy. It wasn't. So I took it and anyway, I have a lot of books now. Go ahead.
No, keep talking. Sorry, I'm just testing this. That's all I'm doing when I snap.
I have a lot of books down there about the native Dakota Sioux and the Dakota Santee Sioux and Ogagallas and Minneconjous, and they're hard to keep straight. But anyway,
Yeah, what are your service dates again? For with the Air Force?
with the Air Force,
Yeah.
May 31st, 1962 to May 30th, 1966. Yeah.
Did you like the Air Force?
Yeah, they had good food there.
Then you did maintenance, right?
Did maintenance, yeah.
Well, I'm told the Air Force has some of the best food of all the.
That's what they always told me.
That's what I've heard.
I can't bitch or complain. Every time,
What?
It's true.
you know, I
Who
just
says that?
ate.
Yeah, they're also called the wussies.
Always ate at the chow hall. One time I ate at
They're
the
sissies
base. The base.
of the Air Force or the.
Oh,
the
Dylan
groups
said that.
right here. Well, and then Patrick too.
Oh,
Why is that?
the Marines.
No, I can't complain about the Air Force.
Oh,
The Navy.
One of those
Neighbor.
hardcore Marines, like his nephew.
Alaska, the last frontier. Wrong. The last frontier was in South Dakota or Iowa, in that area.
Really?
Yeah, that was the last frontier.
Why is that? What do you mean by that?
The trains caught up with the people moving west.
Oh,
They could deliver food and groceries out there, and you know, where they were before they couldn't. The train was always behind the people they were pushing west, and that's so.
so that was the last frontier because like the stagecoaches and horse travel ended there by the time the railroads got
Right,
there.
pretty
And
much,
by
right.
then, the railroads were going forward at the
Right.
same time the people were.
Right. Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
That was the last frontier. I didn't know that either.
I didn't realize that's what that meant.
Yeah. So anyway,
Amazing what you learn.
now he's got Alaska, the last frontier. Wrong. I won't say anything. Anyway, they had a lot of interesting things, but I never thought when I bought this book
They called it
for
an
$1
NFC
something,
or family
it'd be-
housing, or
that I'd never find such a
social worker
find.
today said
So-
family house or what did they call it? I had not heard of that term before.
I wrote it down,
You don't have to give it on. I'm just thinking.
something like that. I'd never thought.
Since the Sioux War of 1878, Centennial Campaign.
Say,
Yeah. Good book anyway.
So Conrad, when your life's over, how do you want to be remembered?
Just, I never was interested in trying to be remembered, you know. I just did my daily functions and, you know, and just, in fact, it took me a while to realize what I'd done after I got rid of Copeland. Copeland was a nice guy, but he was such a jerk in not many other ways, you know. And people were very glad that I got rid of him. They didn't think he could
Ask him what he
be
thought it
gotten
was
rid
like
of.
marrying a woman with
So-
two kids.
Mhm.
Why-
So when I want to go back to the bar. You're at the bar. You see this pretty long brunette hair lady standing there.
Right?
You go up to her. You end up getting her phone number. So at what point do you find out that she's got a couple of kids? Did you find out that night? And what were your thoughts on
She told
that?
me that night she had a couple of kids.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that didn't deter you, huh?
No, not really. Yeah, Dorothy had her shit together as far as her kids, as far as I'm concerned. She had
Yeah.
a clean house, you know, and Tom and Julie were there.
Well, they were little. Is that right? This is what year?
1960, or, wait a minute.
70 something.
I remember.
72 or 74?
72, yeah, you got it.
Or 74.
Huh? No,
You-
1970.
And when you guys met?
74, I was in South Dakota
Okay.
working in the
Yeah, and
farm
part of
machining.
that 5
farm-
years he went
yeah,
back
as a
to South
welder,
Dakota
yeah.
and worked.
I was trying to find a good, decent job in Sioux Falls, but there wasn't anything there either.
Mm-hmm.
Her parents were down in Minnesota or in Texas, and I stayed here, and I didn't want to go back to Texas. I've been there twice.
Whose parents were in Texas?
Huh?
Whose parents were in Texas?
Dorothy's.
Were they really? They were
Yeah.
working down there? Oh, your
Yeah.
dad was. He was painting
Yeah.
down there. That's
Yeah,
right.
right.
'Cause there's no work up here.
He worked out there for a couple of months.
That was like an 80 or something, wasn't it?
No. Well,
It was
yeah.
the early 70s.
It was when real estate went.
79,
It was
I
when
mean,
Reagan was in. That's
I
all
made
I know.
the highest salesperson in 80. I mean, up 15% interest rates on houses, you know. You,
Sometimes I have to like start.
it was bad, you know. So
Should be all good.
yeah.
Okay, Conrad. So we're going back to you seeing this beautiful,
The what?
long-haired brunette.
She was beautiful, long hair.
This beautiful,
And no-
long-haired brunette at the bar.
I didn't peek under her dress either or anything like that.
That was good to know. So, well, yeah, that's right, because she probably had pants on. So obviously, you guys struck up a good conversation.
You what?
Obviously, you struck up a good conversation that night.
Well, I don't know about that, but we struck up something.
And then the story goes, you asked her to dance. Do you recall that?
Yeah, of course.
So was it a slow song or was it a fast song?
Was it what?
Was it a slow dance or was it a fast dance?
Probably a slow dance, I'm guessing.
Okay.
Right? I'm trying to
Yeah.
remember that. Anyway.
So obviously you guys had some chemistry there.
Yeah, well,
And it didn't deter you that she had a couple kids.
Right.
So did you ever think about having kids of your own? Was that ever a
that
thought?
was never really a big factor for me, you know.
Okay.
When I was in the Air Force, they said, don't get married when you're in the Air Force. And then I thought, okay, I can understand why.
Did you and Dorothy talk about having kids?
We talked about it, but Tom and Julie were good enough for me as far as I was concerned. And, you know, I just didn't do anything. And then, that was it.
What are some of your fondest family memories
My
as far as
fondest-
spending time as a family? What are some of your fondest family memories? The four of you.
Just trying to think. Susan Nelson out in Maryland, or out in, who would it be? It wouldn't be Illinois, it'd be Wisconsin, Beloit, Wisconsin. And then she was a little bit younger than me, but her and I always got along good. Bruce Nelson, he was all right. And outside of that, certainly not my brother and, and my sister. My sister and I, we always got along good.
How about with Dorothy, Tom, and Julie? How about the four of you? What were some of your fondest times together?
Okay.
Did you have some family trips or traditions that you did?
Well, we went up to the Upper Peninsula. We had a Ranger then. That was a dog.
And Ranger was a big.
Well, he was a part
Springer Spaniel.
Springer Spaniel, and what was the other one? Saint Bernard. He got the same.
Oh, the same name, but
Huh?
in two different. You had the same name for two different dogs.
Yeah.
Ranger. Now, did you pick that name because of your love of like the forest and maybe wanting to be a ranger?
I think at that time I Julie picked the name.
Oh, so
Yeah.
Tom,
Right.
really?
I
So
remember-
maybe Tom was.
Kind of like a little mask.
Yeah.
Okay.
He looked like a Saint Bernard.
Did he?
He
Okay.
went about 75 pounds. Didn't quite get as big as a Saint Bernard, but
'Cause I just remember seeing pictures of on the fridge. There was the Saint Bernard Ranger and the big one that would lay outside.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Dad brought Battle home one day from I don't know where he was. He brought Battle over, handed him to me. He says, "Here, make him a good cattle dog or a good hunting dog."
What about so Julie told me one year or a few years you guys would go to Cedar Point. Now, did you like to ride the rides at Cedar Point?
Did I like to ride?
To ride the roller coasters or
Oh yeah,
any of the rides?
Yeah, right. Oh yeah. We went there several times,
Okay.
and I liked that. They say they didn't go to Canada with us, did they? No.
It's interesting, Conrad. I would ask Julie ever since, obviously we've been together for a while now. And she says, well, before you go on a trip, you have to check your car out because that's what Conrad would do always. And so I always have to try to live up to how you at least took care of Julie. I'm not sure if you did this at Tom, but make sure that they knew, change the oil, make sure to check the tires.
Right, yeah.
And in the wintertime, you'd warm up their cars before they go to school.
Right.
Things like that. So that made a big impact. I mean, just being being involved and taking care of those little things were kind of made a nice little impact.
Yeah, I changed oil on the cars for Tom and Julie, when they come due.
And you're pretty mechanical, obviously.
Well, yeah. Today you can't do that.
Or that's pretty true.
You gotta have a special thing up there.
And then do you remember one year I was told that the kids had a choice of either going to Cedar Point or getting something. Do you remember what that was?
Or getting something?
Yeah, getting something for by the garage. A basketball hoop. Do you remember that?
Oh,
Do you
basketball.
remember
hoop?
putting a basketball hoop up for the
Yeah,
kids?
I put one up. Yeah, I put one up. Yeah. I did that for myself as much as them, I think.
So you didn't mind that choice, did you?
Yeah, sure, yeah.
So that was
Yeah.
your summer vacation.
I guess so. Yeah. Yeah, anyway.
How long did you have that ping pong table in the basement? Did you have that when the kids were little, when Tom and Julia were little?
Yeah, I guess we did. I can't remember
We were
when.
in high school, maybe.
High school, maybe?
When you guys started playing it on
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
The summer of '84 was my favorite vacation. I think we started it in, we headed to a Tigers baseball game and we sat out.
Seriously, in '84, the
That's
'84.
the only
Yeah.
time we ever went.
Right.
Well,
that's right.
how could you top that year, right?
Yeah. we had seats out in left field and,
Who was pitching? Was it Jack Morris or was it
Dan Petrie was
Dan Petrie? Yes.
Okay,
call for sure.
you remember that more than I
Alan
would.
Trammell and
Yeah. Larry Herndon was out in left field, I think.
Who was the
But-
pitcher?
do you remember that, Julie?
Parrish.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chet Lemon was in center field.
Julie, you remember that baseball game
No,
in '84?
no.
I remember it, but I don't remember it like he
And
does.
I want to say after that,
Well, they won the World
we
Series that
went
year,
to
Conrad.
Cedar Point. And then after that, we drove up to Niagara Falls.
Wow.
Okay.
We went camping up in New York.
I don't remember the baseball game, but apart from that,
Oh, yeah.
So Conrad, did you? Because I obviously talking with Tom and Julie over all these years, they talked many times that family trips were camp trips. So when did you and Dorothy start camping? Did you guys camp? Immediately? Did you guys start camping?
No, I don't.
You were pretty young.
The first camp we went up to Lake Huron. Remember that, Dorothy? And then that was, I don't know what year that was. I tell you, but do you remember the year?
What was it? So was it your idea to go camping and be outdoors, or was it more Dorothy's? Was it?
No, we both. I don't think so. We never argued about where we sleep outdoors, did we? No.
No, but you like being outside and you like
Yeah.
being in the woods, and
Yeah, right.
you would much rather be there than in a city.
Except for the Upper Peninsula.
I think
'Cause
Grandma Rosemary had a lot at Sandy Pines.
That's
So
true.
we would go camping out there. And
Would
then
you?
We'd go camping at Colebrook or see,
Covert.
Like there's local campgrounds we'd go to, like first, and then
And just like tent camp, right? This is tent camping.
Yeah, like we tent camped at Sandy Pines.
Rustic.
Yeah.
Outhouses,
Yeah.
bath in the lake.
Yeah, outhouses, bath in the lake.
You what?
No, I'm just repeating what Dorothy said. Bathhouses, you know.
Yeah.
That was our trip, we camped like that
Right.
for a week.
Yeah.
Conrad was a great. He never signed up for the leadership role, but he was always there with the Boy Scouts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Always,
He always tried to be
always
there.
on campus.
Yeah.
That would make sense, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, always was there to help.
We had Bill Hoogstraten, and we had the other guy, the German guy.
Mr.
Lauer, yeah.
and Mr. Knight.
And Mr. Knight, yeah.
And I would think that you'd be pretty knowledgeable too, just about camping, just your general knowledge of
Not
things,
so much.
and where to camp, where to set up camp, the different trees and bushes and
Yeah, I knew some of that stuff.
a lot of the do's and don'ts.
John Knight and Hoogstraten were probably. Hoogstraten was a builder, and they probably knew more than I did,
Sure.
So,
I think it was Stratton. I think it was Stratton, wasn't it?
Yeah,
What was his name?
Hoogstraten. Then we had a Stratton too. We had a Stratton and a Hoogstraten.
Okay. Yeah, I know the Stratton. I'm not sure about the
Yeah,
Stratton.
David Hoogstraten, I think it was. I'm not sure about the first name.
He didn't have
Well,
any
he was a pretty
friends,
good
he
guy.
just was a good leader.
Oh, okay.
I could do all that stuff, but I wasn't like them. They knew bang, bang, boom, boom,
Right. How about with Julie? Were you? I'm trying to think. She played volleyball.
Yeah. I go to her volleyball games, just about every one of them.
Yep.
And then,
You were never in Girl Scouts or anything, were you? Oh, she was.
I go to Tom's games, and football, of course. He was a team head coach, or not head coach. What was your position?
Captain.
Captain of the Otsego football team.
Okay.
Yeah. And I go to Julie's game when she played volleyball. If I didn't make every one of them, I made most of them, I think. So,
And then you guys were kind of organic before it was cool to be organic. Was that because you just loved to garden, or was it just from a financial reason, or what was that for having a garden and everything?
for me, it was gardening. I like gardening.
Yeah.
I liked, planting stuff, and
Like the spray.
she did too. And I can't ever remember a time that, it used to piss me off. I go out in the garden and all the sweet corn would be down because the coons have been out there.
Right.
Darn things. I bet you I shot 200 coons in my 4 or 5 years that I was out there before I went to the Air Force.
Really?
Oh, God. Dad, Battle would be out there barking. Lassie had died. And Dad would come up and say, Conrad, you want to go out there and shoot them damn coons? So I'd get up and I'd go out and shoot the damn coons. It might be 1 in the morning or something, And anyway, it was...
Well, thanks for sharing some of these stories, Conrad. I appreciate it.
yeah, well,
this is
that's
great.
right.
This is good
There's-
stuff. We'll tuck you in.
What time?
Hey,
Well-
Cooper. Hey, Cooper. Yeah? You want to turn your equipment off? We're done? Yep.
Oh, I forgot to push play. Whose water was this? Cooper's.
Yeah, I suppose we ought to get to bed, I guess.
You have to go potty or?
Yeah, better try.
Boop 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 boop. Goldfish. All right, we're all done.
Well, I guess.
You got anything else to say?
No, I guess.
It's all been said. What else? Any last thoughts?
No, I guess not. You already drawed a lot out of me.
Yeah. Anything random. Pull from the cloud. Pull from the mysterious cloud. What's it telling you to say?
Oh,
Anything.
wow. Oh, what a day. Oh, boy.
You could talk about day. You could talk about night. You could talk about clouds.
Yeah.
Just an idea.
Here I sit so broken hearted.
What'd you say?
Here I sit so broken hearted, I run tower.
That's all right. You can say it.
Here I sit so broken hearted, I ran 10 blocks of shit and nobody farted.
There you go. Yeah, it's-
Here I sit so broken
And
hearted.
what was that thing you said about memory earlier? You said you never live. It's never been about memory. What'd you ask, Dad?
What's that now?
You said something about what do you intend to be your memory? And you said, I don't want to steal your words.
Well, how
but
do you want
s-
to be?
Yeah, how do you want to be
Oh,
remembered?
how do I want to be remembered?
Yeah.
Oh, just a pretty good guy who lived his life and died like everybody else.
Pretty much.
Huh?
Pretty much, right?
Yeah, right.
It's like, what else are you gonna say about it?
You sound
Yeah,
like
right.
a farmer.
Yeah, right.
Is what I think.
Yeah.
I think as far as the little bit I've known of you is that you're a pretty simple guy, pretty
am.
straightforward.
I am, yeah. All true. Yep.
It should be.
Yep. Well, okay.
We can't get through all your.
All right.
things there, Oliver.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay, all right, let's back me up there and I'll get lift my foot.
You got the leashes on?
I'll let you lead me to the, holy shit, this game. I'm not gonna say it.